only three months old, and he's laid waste to the likes of Putan and Katha. Is there anyone who's capable of taking up this challenge? Let them come forward now. And there was an individual who was sitting there. He was the son of Hiranyakashipu. He stands up and he says, I will go. I will take care of your problem for you. What is this little 3-month-old baby? Huh? I will take care of your problem. Asurana ko ye nripati sunayo Shata suramana dharma barayo Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. So Shaktasur stands up with pride, with ego, very confident. He says, I will go. Send me, I will take care of it. What is this 3-month-old boy? I will take care of it. Not only that, not only will I kill him, I will destroy the whole of Raj too if you want me to. That is how much faith he had in himself. I will not only kill him, I'll destroy all of Braj. So that way you don't have to worry about anything anymore. You'll be freed from your... happy. Tiwari's done. He says, yes, if you can do all of that, go. Kill him, wipe Braj off the map, do all of that. Yes, that's good. That will make me sleep easy. So he sends Shaktasur to Gokul. When we go back to Bhagavad Mahapuran now, Sukdev was continuing his narration to Parikshit. And he says, Nandasya patni kritamajjanadikam viprai kritaswastyayanam supujitei annadhavasah sraghavishthadhenubhi sanjata nidrakshamashishachanai. So Sukdev was continuing his narration, and he's saying that after the Blessed Mother Yashoda invited the Brahmins, they performed this Uttan ceremony where they bathed Bhagwan, they put new clothes on him, and the Brahmins, they showered him with their blessings. After that Bhagwan gave, Jasoda Mata gave ample dachna to the Brahmins. She gave them dachna. It is very important, devotees, when you perform your puja, when you perform your sacrifices, you give dachna. Not because the Pandit needs it, the Pandit is not needy, but Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran says, the Devas, the celestial ones, they are pleased by the offerings made with swaha. You know when you do havan, your Pandit is telling you swaha, you make offerings into the fire, those offerings please the Devas. Our ancestors are pleased with the offerings made with swadha. That pleases the ancestors. And yajna, the shakti of yajna, the energy of yajna is the bharja, the wife of yajna is Dakshina Devi. And no yajna is complete without giving dakshina. Not because the Pandit needed it. It is a part of the sacrifice. That sacrifice is incomplete. That sacrifice has no merit. It has no weight if dakshina is not given. So the Blessed Mother Jasoda, she gives the Brahmins dakshina. And after some time she notices Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he's becoming a little restless. He wants to sleep. So she puts him to lay down and she pats him as he begins to sleep. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. She puts Bhagavan to sleep, and then she gets up and she goes back and she continues engaging in the festivities. She goes and she continues to tend to her guests. But where did she put Bhagavan to sleep? She put Bhagavan to sleep in a nice swing, right? A cradle. But it just so happens that this cradle was outside, and right above the cradle was a cart. Right? A cart. So she puts Bhagavan Krishna to sleep in the cradle, and she goes back and she tends to her guests. Devotees, the Divine Mother, Jasoda, she's doing this not because of a mistake. She's doing this to teach us a lesson. When we listen to Katha, we must be receptive to receive these lessons. What? Isn't that so? Bhagavan, if I win the lotto, oh God, we will do your puja. We tend to barter with Bhagavan. We start to bargain with him. You do this for me and I will do this back for you. That is not devotion. That is not devotion. We mustn't do that. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. You know, there was once a man, a very prestigious man. He had a guest that would come to his home. And every time the guest came, the first couple of times, he was very attentive to the man. You know, he greeted him, he gave him a nice seat to sit on, he offered him drinks, refreshments, he sat, he spoke with him. And this went on for some while. And then slowly one day the man came and the guest was busy. So he says, just 1 second, now let me finish up this work and then I will tend to you. So he finishes up his work and then he goes and he receives the guest. Another time, the same guest came back and the man was so busy, he was so engrossed in what he was doing, he paid no attention to his guest. And the guest stopped coming. After some time, the man realized that the person that used to come regularly stopped. And he wanted to know what happened. But what do you think happened? Why did the guest stop coming? Because the man stopped receiving him. That is our life. We can't perceive Bhagavan because we don't receive him. We have to make time for Bhagavan. We have to make Bhagavan paramount in our life. He must be the centerpiece and everything else must revolve around him. Everything else. We don't plan vacation around part-time. Lots of us do that, right? That part or your mandir have a nice function and you're not there because why? You got a cruise. You plan Bhagavan around your life, not the other way around. Bhagavan must come first. We must make it a point in our life to make Bhagavan paramount. We must make him number one. Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya. Put aside all work. Put aside everything. Cast it away. Mamekam sharanam braja. Make me number one. And once we can do that, once we can make Bhagavan number one, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Aham tvam, I, me personally, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo, I will remove all of your sins. Everything that worries you, I will remove it. Moksha isyami masucha, and I will give you liberation. You see how easy it is? It is easy. But we have to make Bhagavan number one. He must be paramount in our life. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namah Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmani Pranataklesha Nashaya Govindaya Namo Namah. So after some time, Bhagavan is laying in the swing and he's sleeping. After some time, he wakes up. He wakes up. You all ever seen a picture of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, baby Krishna, with his toe in his mouth? Have you all seen that? Have you ever wondered why Bhagavan has his toe in his mouth? What is wrong with Bhagavan? You want to hear the reason why? It's a beautiful reason. You want to hear it? All right.
So after some time, Bhagavan wakes up from his sleep and he's laying there and he's swinging very nicely and he thinks to himself, he says, these feet of mine, they're the refuge of the saints. Bhagavan Shiv cherishes these feet. What is so special about it? What is so special? Ye pada pankaj rakhiura nirakat shambhu sujan inko rasamana madhupakari karat nirantar So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is thinking to himself, he says, the wise Bhagavan Shiv, he keeps these lotus feet within his heart. And he continuously cherishes them. He worships my feet. What does he find in them? He says, Bhagavan Shiv, furthermore, he makes his mind like a bee. And his bee-like mind is always attached and attracted to my honey-like feet. What is so special about my feet? I'm thinking like this, Bhagavan takes his toe and puts it in his mouth to taste the sweetness of his feet. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. Moko Yaharasa Duralabha Bhari With this thought in mind, wanting to taste the nectar of his own feet. He wants to know why his devotees flock to his feet. Why do they aspire for his feet? What do they find in it? Why are they desirous of his feet? With this thought in mind, Bhagavan takes his toe and starts to suck on it, just to taste his own, or rather to taste the sweetness of his feet that his devotees chase after. Devotees, after Bhagavan does that, he decides now to finish this Leela, this play with this demon Shaktasur that was sent to kill him. Shaktasur had the ability to become invisible. So when he entered into Vraj, he was invisible. And he went and he stood, or he occupied, the cart that was over the cradle in which Bhagavan was swinging in. So Bhagavan knew he was there. No one else knew, but Bhagavan knew. Bhagavan is Antaryami, he knows everything. He's omniscient. So he starts to pretend now like he's hungry. And what do babies do when they're hungry? Start to cry, right? So Bhagavan starts to cry. He starts to cry. And his mother is still busy. She's still engaged, tending to her guests. She's still engaged in performing and partaking in the festivities. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Athau Thani Kautsukya Mana Manaswini Samagatan Pujayati Vrajokasah Nauvasvino Vairuditam Sutasya Sa Rudan Sthanarti Charana Rudakshipat. So, Mother Yashoda was still busy, like I said, engaging with her guests. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna starts to cry. You know when a baby really wants when he's hungry and he wants his food, they want it right there and then. You don't want to wait. So he's crying, he's hoping his mother will hear him, but she doesn't hear because she's engrossed in doing her work. And Bhagavan is crying and he's crying. And as he's crying, he's looking at Yashoda. So he says, oh, she can't hear. All right. He starts to fling his hands and his feet up. He starts to fling them up. Almost as if he was angry with her. But we all know Bhagavan doesn't get angry, right? But Sukhdev says Bhagavan flung his hands and feet up in an angry manner. Because where is his mother? I'm hungry and where is my mother? So he starts to fling his hands and feet. But the Blessed Mother Jasoda, she really didn't hear him. She was far away, she was busy tending to her guests. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamale Bhyo Namo Namah. Diname so shata ayasamanyo. Diname so shata ayasamanyo. Nanda Suvana Tava Iyah Janyo. Nanda Suvana Tava Iyah Janyo. Iyah Janyo Ram. Iyah Janyo. Iyah Janyo Ram. Iyah Janyo. Nanda Suvana Tava Iyah Janyo. Sham Radhe Sham. Flinging his hands and feet in the air, he sees that demon Shaktasur on the cart. Remember, he's invisible to everyone else. No one else can see him. And when Sri Krishna sees this demon on the cart, he immediately understood who he was, where he came from, and why he's there. Right? Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna tells us, Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. Arjuna, I reside within the hearts. I'm a Hrideshwara. I reside within the hearts of every single being. What can we hide from Bhagavan? What can we hide? Nothing is unknown to him who is all-knowing. What can we hide from him? Bhagavan sees this demon and he knows his past, he knows his present, and he also knows what his future will be when he looks at him. And this is what Bhagavan does. O Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham 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 Bolo Ram Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Taako Hari ek laat chalai. 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 Diyo shakat tab ati har hai. Diyo shakat tab ati harai. Ati harai ram. Ati harai. Ati harai ram. Ati harai. full fight scene with him, you know, dishum, dishum, dishum. No. Bhagwan does what? Taal ko hari ek laat chalai. Bhagwan takes his tender feet, his komal charan, his tender feet. Bhagwan takes it and gives one kick. How many kicks? One kick. That same komal charan, those same tender feet of Bhagwan. When Bhagwan assumed the form of Ubendra Brahman, that same feet, Bhagwan expanded himself, and with 3 steps, he reclaimed the entire universe. Those same feet of Bhagwan, Kewat washed. And he drank the Charanamrita of Bhagwan's feet. Those same feet of Bhagwan pierced a hole into Antariksh, the outer space, from which Ganga Maya flows. Those same feet now, that tender feet of Bhagwan, one kick, one simple kick, he gives the cart. And what do you think happened with the cart? Dishum! That was the fight scene. One simple kick, and the cart broke into pieces. Oh Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Dalujani dhan kaahu nahi jaaniyo, dalujani dhan kaahu nahi jaaniyo, dalujani dhan kaahu nahi jaaniyo, dalujani dhan kaahu nahi jaaniyo. Giyaryo shakataya savamayo sham. Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Jai Sham, Radhe Sham. And so the cart breaks in 2 pieces. No one knew that there was a demon on there. No one knew that the demon died. Nothing. They heard a loud bang when they watched. They saw the cart in pieces. They assumed by faith the cart fell and broke. No one knew what happened. No one saw it except some children that were nearby. They saw everything. They saw Bhagwan's foot go in the air, his tender feet, and by the simplest touch of his feet, the cart broke into pieces. Sukdev was continuing to tell Raja Parikshit, Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha Adhaha Shayanasya Shishorano Alpaka Pravala Mridvam Grihatam Yavartata Vidvastanana Rasakul Vyabhajanam Vyatyasta Chakrakshi Vihinna Kubaram. Sukdev was telling Raja Parikshit, he says, O king, the wheels separated from the axle. Hear how the cart came apart now. The wheels separated from the axle. The hubs and the spokes of the wheel fell apart. And the pole on the cart broke. Sukdev goes on to say, on that cart, there were items. The cart wasn't empty. The cart was filled with pitchers, pots, made from different kinds of metals. Not just clay, but these pots were precious. They were heavy. They were made from metal. And Sukdev says all of them scattered all over the place. This side and that side. All over they went flying. By a simple touch of Bhagwan's foot, that happened. That happened. Devotees, I told you in the beginning, we have a tendency, a folly in us that we put Bhagwan last. We put Bhagwan below our obligations. We put Bhagwan below our commitments. And Bhagwan does not like to be below anything. Bhagwan must be up front. He must be centerpiece of our lives. That cart that was hovering over Bhagwan, You know what that cart really is? You know what it represents? That cart represents our karma, our bondage. That is that cart. Bhagavan is showing us, even if you place me at the very bottom of your life, even if you place me last on your list, from there, still I can easily overturn your karma. I can remove your bondage. I can remove your sufferings. Even by placing me at that lowest point in your life, from there, effortlessly I can remove all of your distress. This is what this Katha is showing us. This is what it is telling us. Devotees, the gops, the cowherd men, they are asking themselves, how has this happened? What caused this cart to overturn like this? And the children that were there that saw it, they told them, they said, little Krishna kicked the cart and it fell apart. They told the truth. They told what they saw. But the adults weren't perceptive to it. They were factual. They said, no, that's not, that can't be. How can this little boy, this little 3-month-old boy, how can he have the strength to kick this cart and overturn it? The proof, the truth was right there in front of them, but they couldn't realize it. The children were telling them, this is what they saw, but they couldn't receive it. Om Sri Guru Charan Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. Lots of times in our life, things happen, right? And we chalk it up to luck, faith. You know, one time I was supposed to go to my mandir. I have a yajna and I was supposed to go help them. And at the last minute, I changed my mind. I said, I'm going to stay right with me there. Let me not go. That night, or rather the next morning, I wake up and I'm looking at the news, and the bridge that I would have went across to go to my mandir, a boat hit it and the bridge fell off. Right? That could have been me. When scenarios like this play out in our lives, the first thing we say is luck. Luck. Fate. We don't give credit to Bhagavan. Bhagavan was the one that caused us to avoid doing something or being somewhere we shouldn't have been, or doing something we shouldn't have done. Right? We chalk it up to fate. When in reality it is Bhagavan. So the children are telling them that Bhagavan, this little boy Krishna, he kicked this cart, but the adults can't believe it, they can't understand it. Om Uchuravya Sita Matina Gopang Gopischa Balakaha Rudatanena Padena Kshiktame Tanna Sansaya. So they didn't believe what the children were telling them, so they now decided that it might have been grah. Bhagavan had little grah. When bad things happen in our life, we run to Pandit, check, Patra for me get grah. Huh? See, me get little shiny and thing now. Same thing here. The adults, they chalked it up to maybe it was a planet that was positioned in the wrong place that caused this event to happen to their Krishna. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So, in our lives, devotees, as we can see here, things happen, but we don't perceive it as Bhagavan's will, as Bhagavan's grace, His intervention, because we lack the faith. We don't have faith in Bhagavan. We have faith in luck, right? But we don't have faith in Bhagavan. That is why it is important to come to Mandir, to listen to Katha, and to pray and build a connection with Bhagavan. Build a connection. You know, in Mahabharata Katha, when Draupadi was being disrobed, in the Raj Sabha, in the royal court. She went to everyone. She went to Bhishma Pitamaha. She went to the grandfather. She went to Drone and Kripacharya, the gurus of the Kauravas. She turned to Bhagwan. Then she turned to him. And Bhagwan was there waiting. He was there waiting for her to call out to him. And he went and he saved her. He went and he saved her. We have to practice now, devotees. We have to start from now to pray to Bhagwan wholeheartedly. We have to start now. If we don't remember Bhagwan in our good times, you think in our times of distress he will come to us naturally? Bhagwan will say, where you've been there, where you've been doing your good times, go there. We have to make an effort to remember him now when we have good health. And we have to develop that faith in him. That faith. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. And how do we develop faith? Dad shared with me one of his writings when he came in. And I asked him if I could use a little bit of it, and he said, of course. Like he always does. So he's telling us here now, how do we develop faith for Bhagwan? It's very simple. All we have to do is to pray to Bhagwan. All we have to do is pray. He says, prayer means to depend upon God. Prayer means to depend upon Bhagwan in our times of distress. In our times of distress, we must pray to Bhagwan. In our times of happiness, we must also pray to Bhagwan. Isn't that so? We live in a time now where things are very hard, very difficult, and we're all in some form or the other, we're faced with difficulties, we're faced with hard times, right? And some people, they cope by cracking a bottle, right? Some people cope by engaging in substances and so on. That is not for us. How do we cope? We chant Bhagwan's name. We don't crack bottle and thing. We do this. What is this? Chant. We chant. We take Bhagwan's name and we ragar. We ragar Bhagwan's name. We chant his name over and over and over. And you chant. Prayer, devotees. Prayers lighten the heaviness in our hearts, our spirits. When we feel down in life and we pray to Bhagwan, I guarantee you, if you do it wholeheartedly, you will feel Bhagwan's presence. You'll feel your burdens start to raise. And prayer is an opportunity for Bhagwan to come to us. Bhagwan is only waiting. He's only waiting for us to call upon him, for him to come. This same Bhagavad Katha, there's a beautiful Katha within it that talks about a fellow by the name of Gajendra. Have you ever heard that name, Gajendra? Gajendra was an elephant. Gaja means elephant. Very regal creature. He was the king. He was likened to Indra, the king of heaven. He was a very regal elephant. And he had all comforts you could think of. Had so many wives, had so many children. But as the Katha goes, a crocodile caught hold of him when he went to a pond to drink. The crocodile caught hold of his feet, and all of his wives eventually left him. They said, you try dead. His children left him. In his times of distress, the time he thought he needed them the most, they left him. You ever witnessed that in life? Sometimes people just want to come on board on the Pandit and tell the Pandit about them distress. Let me tell you a secret. You got distress? Me got it too. Don't tell me. Me can't help you. But you know who can? Bhagwan. Go to Bhagwan. So, in Bhagavad Katha, Gajendra recites a very powerful, a beautiful stotra glorifying Bhagwan. But the beauty of this stotra is he does not take Bhagwan's name. He doesn't call Bhagwan by the name of Ram, Krishna, Vishnu, Shiv, Durga. No name was called. And all of them were in heaven looking down. They were waiting. They were waiting. Brahma was sitting on his swan. He says, if this Bana only called my name, I'm going to go help him. So Brahma is waiting for Gajendra to call his name. Bhagwan Shiv is holding his Pashupati, his Trishul, he's holding his Trishul in his hand, and he's saying, if Gajendra only calls on me, if he only met the song Bum, that word Bum is associated with Bhagwan Shiv. He says, if you only make the song Bum, I will go and save him. All of the devas are standing on guard, waiting to hear their name called. But Gajendra calls no name. He says, he who is the Lord of the entire universe, let him come to my rescue. He who resides within every single being, animate and inanimate, let him come to my rescue. And like this, he's praying to Bhagwan. And who do you think goes there? Bhagwan Vishnu. Bhagwan Vishnu goes there and he liberates Gajendra. He saves him. So devotees, Bhagwan is only waiting for us to receive him. He's only waiting for us to pray to him. He's only waiting